This episode of Watch It Played is brought to you by Game On. Looking for great board games?
What about role-playing games?
And collectible card games.
Or miniatures!
Find all this and more, plus great prices and friendly service at Game On in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. If you've come to game on Prince Edward Island, then you've got to come to Game On. Hi, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is going to be the last and relatively short video in our Wrath of Ashardalon series. So I'm going to merge, once again, our discussion and gameplay videos together into one. So let's move on to the news and updates. Not really a lot to update you on here, except to say that in the next video, I'm going to be showcasing what the next two games are that we'll be playing in this video series. That's right, 2 games, because I'm crazy, and I'm going to try to do 2 separate games at the same time. It will be a bit of a challenge, but I think it'll be fun, and I'm hoping that it'll provide interesting content for you guys. And it's going to be fun for me to try to rise to the challenge. So let's move on to errors and corrections. The first one comes from Schmendrick Oat. It's an important one. When we did the correction in the last video, because a flaming sphere attack shouldn't have been able to occur, I reset everything except for one item. There was a damage token that should have come off the Goth, because he was hit by that flaming sphere as well, which means our Goth now has 2 hit points. Now unfortunately that might have changed what some of your submissions were for our Cleric, but I'm still relatively confident, again, barring any really unlucky dice rolls, that we should be able to finish off the Goth in our next turn. We'll see though. The next helpful correction comes from Jay Chalant, or Jay Chalant. You'll have to forgive me, the Canadian in me doesn't quite know what to do with a CH when I see it in a name. He pointed out that Luke in the last video put a damage marker on the rogue when the Goth attacked instead of on the dwarf fighter. Now, I went back and checked the video. I'm quite confident Luke wasn't doing that as a way to avoid putting damage on his character. In fact, it's cute. You can kind of, if you watch the video, after he places it down and I start talking, you can see his eyes fluttering back and forth across the character cards. It looks like he's doing some mental math because he was used to putting the damage on the hero that had the most hit points. So it was like he was trying to figure out which one of these guys has the most hit points. Yeah, I think I did this right. And then he carried on. So thanks for catching that. We got quite a few damage tokens piling up on our dwarf, but I think Luke's character is going to survive this dungeon encounter. All right, now it's time for questions and answers. We have one from Rebel Mage. He wants to know, I think he's been sort of watching the video carefully and noticing some of our heroes seem to have less abilities than others. Now he recognizes that leveled up characters get 1 additional ability, but for instance, if you look here at the table, it looks like our Cleric only has 3 total abilities. Well, the reason for that is because some cards, the ones that flip over, like daily powers and utility powers, when they get used up, sometimes I'll hide them underneath the character cards like this. Other times I don't do that right away, like the fighter has one here that get used. And so between videos, if I'm remembering it, I'll sometimes come down to the table and I'll clean things up a little bit, help organize things. So sometimes that's why you'll notice some of the cards disappearing or moving around between takes. And that's all that's happening there. How you play and what you do to help manage the mess on your table may be a little bit different. All right, well that's the end of the questions and answers, and now we can get right into the gameplay. Welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and
I'm Andrea Smith.
And we're ready to begin what I think will be the last video of our Wrath of Ashardalon series. Yes, I know. Sad, isn't it? Wouldn't it be nice, though, Andrea, if we had Luke here to join us for the last video? Maybe you could use your wizarding spells to teleport him over here?
Okay.
No, that's the healing hymn song. The teleportation spell.
Teleportation!
Whoa, it worked. Oh, shoot, Luke, I'm sorry. We didn't think about what you might have been in the middle of when we cast that spell. I hope you were finished, whatever you were doing.
Not really.
Oh, dear. Okay. All right, well, now that you're here, let's get started with our hero phase, shall we? Now, the term we chose was from Mage Malfunction 10. He wanted to do something using the Wand of Fear that really doesn't work the way he wanted to. So I like his plan. We're going to kind of use it, but he was going to hopefully use the Wand of Fear to draw the monster towards himself. And the card does say on it that you have to move the monster up to 2 tiles away from you. So that wouldn't work. But we're just going to modify it slightly, keeping the spirit of what he intended to do. And let's begin. Quinn the Cleric turns to Heskin the Wizard, and with a wink and a nod, drops the box of metal caltrops on the floor around them. The Rogue and Wizard look at one another, confused by the Cleric's action, but the Wizard nods back with a knowing smile. So our Cleric is using the box of caltrops. He's dropped them on the floor around him, which is what you do with this card. You use it during your hero phase, and then when a monster is placed on one of those squares with a caltrop token, you remove that token and you do 1 damage to the monster. Okay, so now the Cleric, that doesn't take up an action. The Cleric is going to use the Sacred Flame. So let's roll and add 6 and see if it's a hit. It's a 2. Luke, would you like to roll from now on? Sure. So that's unfortunately going to be an 8, which is not enough to hit the Goth. And now the Cleric can move if he wants to, but I don't think he will.
No.
No. Okay, so now we get to move on to the exploration phase. And of course, there's nothing going to happen there. We're going to go right to the villain phase and draw an encounter card. A gap in the armor. The last fight damaged your armor, and you must spend a few moments to repair it. You are cursed. Place this card on your hero card as a reminder. You have a -4 penalty to AC while this curse is active. But if you don't move during your hero phase, you can discard this card. So we'll put that on the Cleric. He's now cursed. And now we have to activate our villain. All right, let's roll the dice, Luke, and we're going to see which kind of attack it's going to be.
2.
2. That's the anti-magic attack. Now we should also make sure we know who we're targeting here. I believe it's going to be Tarak, who has 6 hit points left. Yes. So let's roll and add 8 and see if this hits Tarak or not. It's a 9. Yes, unfortunately that is going to be a hit. So we're going to do 1 damage, and Tarak has to lose 1 of his items.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get rid of the AC bonus. All right. So now our villain phase is done. We're on high alert. We have no monsters to pass around. Before we begin our wizard turn, unfortunately I have to leave. A little emergency's come up. Nothing major, but I have to go. I'm going to leave the rest of the turn to the kids. Andrew, if you wouldn't mind using your wizard wand, can you get me out of here?
And now it's just the Smith kids. So, it is now me, the wizard's turn, and I'm going to use my hypnotism, and I get to choose a monster, and I get to move him 1 tile closer to me. And I'm going to put him right on top of the caltrops, which means when a monster lands on those, they get to have a damage put on them. So, put that on. Fabulous. Okay. And now, usually this card, you'd use that to move it towards another monster, and then you could make the monsters attack each other, but there's no other monsters in play right now. This was just so we could, after the queen dropped the things, then I could make the monster step on it, so teamwork! Okay, and then I'm going to use my throwing shield as my attack. So let's roll. Terrific. 19, yes, that is going to hit. Put another damage on him. How much damage does he have on him right now, Luke?
He has 9 damage and he has 9 hit points.
No, wait, what?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hit points.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh!
So we just beat the Goth, and that's the end of the game. Yippee! The hero wins.
Woo!
And that's it for now. You'll see us in the next videos.
Smith kids take over the world. See you next time.
Alright guys, I'm back. Guys? Huh. So, I missed the end. All those episodes and I missed the end. Well, I hope it went well. The kids told me they beat the monster. They said that you guys won, so that's good. Listen, thanks for following along with this game. It's been a pleasure to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm going to be putting up a video very shortly after this to announce the next games in our series that we're going to be playing, so keep an eye out for that. I hope you will join us.